Greetings and welcome back to my channel, Meta Messiah. And today, what I'd like to discuss is Ryoshi, which means fisherman. Ryoshi is not one individual, in my opinion, based on my research. He's definitely not who BitBoy says he is. And whoever the Ryoshi are have sought out to change the world forever with crypto. More to come. While I'll give BitBoy some credit for creating lurid content and doing an investigation that does point to Nema Jahan as a strong connection to Shiba Inu in its founding, I certainly do not think that BitBoy was correct in his assumptions, and very inexpertly concluded, in my opinion, BitBoy was more interested in going after a high-profile individual with the X Fund because of a connection with Shiba Inu. And Shiba Inu is connected to a lot of high-profile projects and individuals because of those who have worked on the project. I mean, the thing went up from, with a quadrillion tokens, an $8,000 market cap to $40 billion in its height. Nema Jahan is not Ryoshi, as we would come to think of who this individual is because of our lore, which is really folklore with Shiba Inu. That being said, BitBoy focused more on a trail of evidence without truly looking at the best evidence, in my opinion, to try to ascertain who Ryoshi would be or who LARPs his account. And I say, yeah, it could be a LARP. And the reason I say that is these are Discord or Twitter or X or Telegram accounts, but we don't know who the face is behind them. It's probably one of the most captivating and mysterious stories out there is the story of Ryoshi. And I read an article a while back, and I'll put the link in here. And the author, he's a journalistic type guy. I don't know if he's a full-on journalist or crypto journalist, but I'll just say a journalistic type of guy. My apologies, Jay Durenthal. Jay Durenthal, actually a pretty good writer, in my opinion, as far as his article here. I'd be interested in reading more of his work, but this is the one I think, as far as Jay Durenthal, in his investigation into Shiba Inu, which is one of the best deep dives into the Shiba Inu culture, and I guess we'd call them the OG crew, the founders, and principally Ryoshi. Ryoshi being the one that Jay Durenthal actually had some interaction with and discussion and interview with. An interview. How many people have interviewed whoever's behind the mask, right? Not that many. And I believe he also interviewed Shytoshi as well. I'm not sure about Eric. Eric was I blank his last name, but he was there about the time of Shytoshi. It's in the article, and the link is in the description. But at any rate, we don't know for sure who is behind the Ryoshi Research X or Twitter account, especially after it deleted everything and went dormant, except for after Asuka changed 4 days later, changed the avatar to Milarepa, the Buddhist teacher that fabled to have climbed Mount Kailash. Now, I find it very interesting how BitBoy basically makes a leap in his evidentiary findings to basically say these things connect Nema Jahan to Shiba Inu. He's a big person with X Fund being probably like a venture capitalist to get Shiba Inu off the ground. There are a lot of people interested in Shiba Inu, just like they were with Pepe. And I believe the true catalyst behind it was the almost viral nature of these things growing. You had Dogecoin, the perfect market, the perfect storm. And then the Shib was the Dogecoin killer. And here is this mysterious Ryoshi character, but a lot of people liked his medium or their medium. And what the pure DeFi vision, Ryoshi's vision is all about. And if you recall, Shiba Inu was just an experiment, okay, and spontaneous community building with a very iconic dog, right? And this whole Dago thing and the Shiba Inu and all the early meme coin investors liked the iconography. They liked Ryoshi, what Ryoshi had to say. A lot of people now, I think, are starting to see that perhaps Ryoshi's return isn't so much like with Shiba Inu, but with seeding an ecosystem of various tokens. I believe Okinami being central in that, and in Suka as well, and others that all have progeny. They're all progeny of Shiba Inu. Cal, C-A-L, from the same progeny of the Shiba Inu deployer wallet. But Okinami, its deployer wallet was 40 days before Shiba Inu in 2018. Blockchain proves it. That's how old Okinami's wallet, its deployer wallet is, with some very dynamic connections to some big ETH wallets, including an ETH dev in particular, Russell Verbeeten, who should not go without mention. Is a pretty important character in the ETH Foundation. Now, that being said, going back to Ryoshi, I do believe Ryoshi, and I've said this in other videos, you have to research my other videos to get more of my other analysis, but my analysis here is that Ryoshi, and a lot of people do believe Satoshi Nakamoto have a connection. I see Ryoshi as like a secret society, or like, I guess I call it a cloister of monks, very secret, very isolated. Imagine those monks out in the middle of Tibet on top of, some mountain high up, away from everything, highly secretive. But Jay Dorenthal had a chance to interview. Jay Dorenthal had a chance to talk to Ryoshi, and one of the things in particular he said was I'm not important. He's like, I'm nobody. I'm not important. And if you were to find out who I was, you'd be rather disappointed. And I think that the disappointment is people are expecting someone like Elon Musk, or, one of the major characters in the finance and technology world, like this real, how should I say, giga brain or deep pocket, well-connected guys. And even if you look at the article, it says, I'm a poor boy. I have no money. I got the money. He got even the ETH to start Shiba Inu from someone else. He said, I didn't put any of my own money in this. Although some people think he owned some pretty big bags of like Link or something and had like over $1 million or something. I'm not sure if that's ever been proven. And if it is, then I think there's lots of wallets connected to all the people who are LARPing Ryoshi. Ryoshi is it's like a folklore character. Ryoshi is like a mythological, legendary character who's been created by a number of individuals who have major plans to change the world. And it became a movement, probably with some low-level people, and it caught on. And there was connections made, and the Ryoshi group that's very secretive has grown in number, and there are a number of individuals out there still LARPing the part per se, but they're LARPing the part of Ryoshi in carrying on the vision and various tokens. May actually have a lot of direct communication with the original Ryoshi from the Shiba Inu Discord, perhaps as one of the central characters, not just central characters, but what I meant to say was central leaders within this Ryoshi movement who was there from the beginning. And it just grew amongst him and his cohort, so to speak. Could be a female, we don't know. But Nema Jahan, I seriously doubt. this is a call out in a lot of ways to the Shiba Inu community, which has in many ways lost a lot of people because of its deviance and its dereliction to the Ryoshi's vision, meaning it's become far too centralized. There's too much power in the hands of one or a few. And I would even say for Shitoshi, he's doing all he can. Power was thrust upon him. I don't think he necessarily grabbed it, but he has that power nonetheless and trying to do the best with it. But I do feel he will want to retire from Shiba Inu and do his own thing, his own vision. Maybe Okinami is perhaps something that I think Ryoshi or Shitoshi Kusama as part of this, splinter group that came out of Shiba Inu, Tsuka, Okinami, possibly even Daruma, because its code also does relate and is very important, because the Daruma code, except for its execution layer, it's a contract address, are the same as Suka. So Suka, Okinami, Daruma, a lot of the code's the same. It may fit in there somehow. And as far as I know what Daruma is, it's a little, maybe like a little treasure box or a little figurine, important in Asian culture. And the little Daruma is, maybe like a good luck charm of some kind, or talisman. I'm learning more about it. So I'm definitely reaching out to the Daruma people as well. I'm always reaching out to the Suka people. And I'm always trying to edify the Okinami people that there is an important connection with these Ryoshi tokens. There's unity being thrust upon us as a goal. Unity. And it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. Eventually, I think Suka, their eyes are going to open. They're going to see my previous video. The Suka whales and Debs are going to see Okinami Central. And then it's going to kind of burgeon from there. It's going to just, the fruits of this are going to come about as more and more of these Ryoshi communities, which Ryoshi will have reemerge and appears as these other communities reveal, or is revealed as some type of revelation. Okay. Suka, it has a very, very strong connection, because Ryoshi research is a very strong direct connection. And Milarepa, don't forget though, Milarepa climbed Mount Kailash, and in Okinami's narrative, well, we all know it with Okinami, Mount Kailash is very important, and to reach the peak, to do the impossible. Kind of asking the Shib people to do the impossible in a sense. Just like I think they should reach out to the Cal community, and the Cal community should be a part of this. But I think Cal and Shib, all the people there that believe in Ryoshi's vision, that believe in the origin story of Shiba Inu, and that is this goal for the plebs, for the people, for decentralized finance, to change the lives and improve the financial circumstances of not the rich, of not institutions, but of average, everyday people. A lot of average, everyday people are fishermen, and Ryoshi means fishermen, and we all can be fishermen. Okay, we all can be Ryoshi. I am nobody, as Ryoshi says. I'm not important, but if you found out who I was, you would not be impressed. And I think that's because there's also a very Buddhist or Zen Buddhist aspect to that, and that is, it doesn't matter who I am. Okay, and you would not be impressed. Maybe you wouldn't, because it's not who you thought and hoped you would be. Nema Jahan, certainly not, but maybe Nema Jahan is connected to the Ryoshi group and knows who they are, or a part of it, and believes in the pure DeFi, pure decentralized finance vision of Ryoshi. And just to end on that, what is pure decentralized finance? It's not just good faith. It's not just doing things in a trusted good faith manner. It's this altruistic doing for the community, and the community doing for all. So a high tide lifts all boats. A high tide will lift all boats. Perhaps within the Shibarium and Shiba Inu ecosystem, these Ryoshi tokens should have an essential connection, I think, probably with, like I mentioned in my previous video, roll-up sequencers, layer 2 roll-ups, ZK, zero-knowledge roll-ups, and optimistic roll-ups, whichever new ones. I'm looking into espresso sequencers, but basically driving traffic to the L2s, Polygon, and so on. Moving to the L2 traffic zones, pulling off the ETH blockchain, pushing to Shibarium, pushing into Polygon, using tech roll-ups. And I think one way of doing that is in the transfer, like bridges between tokens. Okay, bridges I think are going to be huge. Another technical is staking and restaking contracts, building of nodes, validator nodes, and building these Ryoshi tokens actually have some pretty base tech to drive the traffic to the L2s, principally Shibarium, because in the end, the Ryoshi tokens, I think, are going to be the tokens to save Ethereum vis-a-vis EIP 48, 44, and the surge. So if you're in Shiba Inu, I hope you're listening in on this, because I really do think you should be paying attention to Okinami. In my conclusions, sorry, something just fell in my office. Perhaps it's a good omen. In my opinion, the Okinami token represents the reincarnation of Shiba Inu into a pure DeFi, powerful community that's going to do what Shiba Inu did. It might take a long time, but it will do it. And I think the Shiba Inu community, a lot of them are going to miss what Ryoshi was all about. Come to Okinami and make it happen and unite. We'll be uniting with the Shiba Inu community sooner or later. I feel that in my heart. And then from there to Suka, maybe even Daruma and more, Hoshi, and various other tokens, Suzume, Hoichi Hachi, maybe Sakura, all the true pure DeFi Ryoshi, in the spirit of Ryoshi, the Ryoshi tokens are going to come together in this fantastic and an epic ecosystem that will, in the end, for the scaling of Ethereum, make EIP 48, 44 reality. And like I said, they will drive a ton of traffic through the layer 2s, and that's going to be a big part of it. It's going to be a big part of it. But I think the Shib community, they need to come to where we are, because Okinami and these other Ryoshi tokens, we're not just looking to be the next Shiba Inu. We're looking at saving Shiba Inu. We're looking at saving Shiba Inu, making Shibarium successful. If the gas costs and the speed of Ethereum for all ERC20 tokens is not rectified, principally by the technology with roll-ups through Shibarium, through other layer 2s, the Shibarium won't be successful. Shiba Inu won't. This is a big deal. Very big deal, folks. And if you're in Shiba Inu, I hope you're paying attention. I know Ryoshi would want you with Okinami. I truly do. We truly believe that. But that's to fulfill the vision, which I think Shiba Inu has lost sight of. And they can't do it on their own. Shiba Inu needs to quit pretending it can do it on its own, because it can't. It needs new blood. It needs new tech. It needs other communities to work together in harmony to achieve a goal. Okay? And it's not going to all happen with Shiba Inu. It has to happen with these other Ryoshi communities. He's come back to offer something big to the Shiba Inu community. And Shaitoshi even said himself, Shaitoshi said he owes a big one to Ryoshi, and I know wants to repay him for everything he's done to make Shiba Inu a success. So with that being said, just keep it in mind. I think there's a lot of good stuff that could be done. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all your being a part of this Okinami community and the greater communities at large. I feel like we are a bunch of Ryoshi together in that Okinami Telegram. All the links are in the description. And until next time, folks, be Ryoshi. We all can be.